Good morning, Pippa Dot, Maria, if you're still around. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everyone had a terrific week. At the bottom of the screen there, if you can read that, I know it's tiny. But today, on this day in history, in serial killer history, Pee Wee Gaskin was born on this day. Pee Wee Gaskin. What a weird, strange man. However you want to put it. Weird, strange, bizarre. He was a definitely a weird one. But a serial killer, rapist, all the same. Pee Wee Gaskin was born on today's date. How am I doing today, Pippa Dot? I'm doing great. How are you doing this morning, sweetheart? I hope you're doing well. Rainy and cloudy here, weather-wise. Supposed to rain on and off all day today. Weird weather. Weather patterns are a changing. What used to be mild, hot temperatures, apparently the last like 5 years, they were watching. I saw the graph, and they've been tracking it. It's been getting cooler slightly and wetter last 5 years in this area. I'm having phone issues. I'm going out and coming back in. All right, you do that. Hopefully it clears up. You're able to connect and hear. Going to be hot where Pippa Dot is today. Give it another minute and 40 seconds here, and then we'll get going on this morning's page two news. This is not going to be our normal page two news where I cover crimes that have happened this past week. This morning's page two news, I'm answering questions that have been asked multiple times over the course of the last month or so about YouTube and what people watch, how long they watch, and what they're doing on the site. I know it's not my typical content, and I understand if people want to tune out for it, but it's still interesting all the same. So I hope that even if if you're a true crime buff like me, you'll find some interest in it. 30 more seconds, and then we'll get going. But yeah, like Maria asked if I was covering the Joseph Duggar arrest. I did a shorts video on my channel about it. Got a not copyright, but community strike for it. That was fun. That's always fun. Happens every time I cover anything like it. I don't trust me. It does, don't not poor old me. I'm used to it. All right. This is the 299th edition of Page Two News. Again, normally I cover the underreported crime stories of the past week, but today we're doing YouTube. This is the 299th edition. Now with 8% more lies about war and less reasons not to. Shout out to last week's supporters, Joe Tallchief and Alexander, I think that's pronounced Bentor. I'm not entirely sure, and I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. I do believe there might have been one of those little marks above the E, but I'm not entirely sure. For the super thanks after last week's trivia. Thank you very much to both of you. Welcome to our new subscribers and friends. Candace M, Tulia Unruly, we Shakespeare, Ada Lalo, John Hilborn, Mr. Tweak 56, Lutz Chiphead, Rebecca Torrey, Phoenix Today 7, and added just this morning from overnight is Matt Grayer and Profiler 32C and Sidok Wintz. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that, but joining overnight added this morning. Welcome to 411 Now. Warning about the content you're about to see and view on this channel. Maybe not so much for today's content, but everything else on this channel. This channel discusses real crimes and real victims, real investigations and real consequences. The case covered may include violence, disturbing details, and topics that are not suitable for everyone. Viewer discretion is obviously strongly advised. Dark humor may be present, but let's be clear, the crimes themselves are not entertainment. The victims are never the punchline. If you're here for facts, content, and uncomfortable truths, welcome. If you're here to romanticize criminals, argue in bad faith, or get offended by reality, it may not be the right channel for you. Viewer discretion is advised. Common sense is required, and keyboard courage will not be rewarded. Please never forget the party that told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final and most essential command. That is from George Orwell's 1984, but it fits multiple times throughout history, in particular with Adolf Hitler in 1939, when he was rounding up the Jews and Gypsies. He told the international community at large, no, I'm not doing anything illegal here. I'm not persecuting these people. I'm not doing anything wrong here. I'm just getting rid of the bad people, the criminals, and those who are here illegally. If you don't see the direct connection to that, the party that told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears in today's world, you are living underneath an effing rock, and you need to wake up, because history repeats itself if no one listens or learns from it. Let's talk about YouTube today. Muster Chief, good morning, and welcome to this morning's Page 2 News. According to Google, TubeBuddy and vidIQ. TubeBuddy and vidIQ are programs that people pay for to mainly creators to streamline and to monetize their content. According to all three of them, Google, TubeBuddy, and vidIQ, shorts videos in the past year, this is for the past year, every single day, 70 billion people view shorts videos on YouTube. Long form videos, 58 billion people are viewing long form videos. That is a video that is longer than 2 minutes. It can be 2 minutes and 1 second, and it's considered a long form video. Live streams, 32 billion people view live streams per month, not per day, but per month. That is down a lot compared to the billions who are viewing long form and short videos per day. Premiere videos. A lot of people are not even aware that there is such a thing as a premiere video. But anyways, 809,751 million views per month on average. Podcast, 37 billion views per month. So if we look at the data there, shorts videos and long form videos are definitely the driver of content, types of content that are viewed the most on YouTube, where streams, premieres, and podcasts are falling way behind. Now, obviously, this is a live stream. So you may be asking yourself, what is a Premiere Video? If you're not aware, that is just like a normal live stream, but the entire content is recorded, previously by the creator, and then they put it up live. You'll have a chat just like this. You'll have all the same features as a live stream, doing super chats and gifting channel memberships and all that stuff like you would normally, but it's pre-recorded by the creator themselves. But that is what a Premiere Video is. It doesn't have to be that way. A Premiere Video can just be a boom, and then there is no chat or anything else, but you'll still have all the other additional features. Shorts videos. 61% of all shorts videos are watched for only 1.5 seconds. Swipe, 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 swipe. Just like somebody trying to match on Tinder. Yeah, they keep on swiping until they find someone that they're attracted to within 1.5 seconds. Long form videos, 53 excuse me, 53.25% are switched off at the 4-minute and 45-second mark. Live streams, 82% are turned off to other content at the 7-minute and 12-second mark. Podcasts. A podcast, on average, this is not just one creator, not my content, but everyone's content is in this. Podcast, 5 minutes and 18 seconds is when somebody turns podcasts off. Premieres, 4 minutes and 11 seconds. The most, when it comes to shared or hyped videos, 43% of the time, if somebody wants to share the content with somebody else, like, hey, check this video out, they'll share it 43% of the time. Only 31% of all long form content is being hyped. Hyping a video is fairly new, and I'm not going to get into how the point system and all that works for hyped videos. But let's just say that it's not been as big of a success as YouTube had wanted it to be. We live in a short attention span world. People want 100% of the facts to make their own determinations on the story in under 60 seconds. I hate to break the bad news to you, but that's how it is. If you don't give people everything, every nuanced fact, who was involved, how it happened, who was guilty, how they were prosecuted, how are they doing behind bars, what did they eat last week? If you don't include all that in 60 seconds and not use one of the 21 words that YouTube has determined is not allowed on their platform at all. If you don't do that in 60 seconds, you're gone. You're yesterday's news. They're never going to watch you again. Shorts videos are the future of content on YouTube. The algorithm pushes viewers to shorts. They are cheaper to host, but a lot cheaper. And creators can pump out hundreds per month. And those that grab attention go viral 30 times more than long form videos. YouTube has spent the last 3 years bringing in anyone and everyone from other platforms, from your TikToks, your Instagrams, your other platforms where, even going back when Vine was around, they, actively, tried to bring these people to their platform to, make shorter content. Again, it's so much cheaper for YouTube to host 1 billion shorts videos than it is 1 billion long form videos. Again, a long form video is anything over 2 minutes. A technical shorts video on YouTube is 60 seconds or less, but still anything at 2 minutes plus is considered a long form. Want to do a test? This is a test. This is optional for anybody who is watching this stream right now. and maybe watching it after it's live. We're going to do a test, and I'm going to show you just how screwed this platform is and why long form videos and live streams and podcasts are not getting the viewership that shorts videos are getting. And I hate to break the bad news to you. If you want to take part in this, you cannot be right now. You cannot be watching this live stream on your cell phone. This is only for people who are watching on a tablet, a PC, or some other device other than a cell phone. Okay. So if you're watching on a cell phone, please don't take part in this. But everybody else, you're gonna run a test, and for those who want to do it, you're not going to miss anything while this test is being done. This is a test for anyone who is not watching on a cell phone. Pick up your cell phone. This is the first part of the test. This test is going to take part only on your cell phone. Turn on your cell phone. Turn on and go to the YouTube app. If you use a browser and you always type in YouTube, that way, I don't care how you get to YouTube, go to the YouTube main page. That's where you should be at right now on your cell phone. Step number 3 is I want you to find the shorts button at the bottom of the screen. It'll say shorts, or scroll down on the screen until you find the shorts shelf. It will say on the upper left side for each section, featured, and then it will say shorts if it says shorts video. Any video you want that is on the short shelf, I want you to click on that video. I don't care what the subject matter is. You may never have watched that content or that kind of content, have any interest in that content at all. But click on it and watch the video. Then after you watch that video on your cell phone, I want you to watch another video. You must watch both. Even if you don't go back to the short shelf and the video plays out and it starts to replay, swipe up for the next video and watch the entire video. Last but not least, step number 7. I want you to turn your cell phone completely off. Now, I'm not saying hit the power button and turn the screen off. I want you to turn the phone off and reboot the phone completely. If you need to know how to do that, go to the top corner of your screen, scroll down, and with your finger on the top until you get to what's called the administrative page. Now, this is for Android devices. I don't know if this works for Apple and how to turn off the phone itself. Some phones you can hold 2 buttons down and it'll automatically restart the phone. But if you scroll down, you'll see what looks like a warning sign. It's like a full half circle with a line in it. That is a power button. You hit that and it will say restart phone, power off, something to that effect. Turn your phone off and then turn your phone back on after it's turned itself off. I will wait here, pause now for 1 minute and 7 seconds, because I'm assuming that you've already clicked on and watched one entire video, shorts video on your cell phone while I was talking, and you were following the instructions as I went along through all 7 steps. Good morning, Gemma. Smoke them if you got them. Smoke them if you got them. 20 more seconds, and then we're going to come back here, making an even 2 minutes. 12 seconds. 10 seconds. And we're back. Okay, now that your cell phone has been turned back on, go back to the YouTube app. What changed about the app? When you click on YouTube, or you went through and in the search box and through a browser and you went to YouTube, what has changed about the app itself? Did it open the main page, or did it auto start with the next shorts video without you ever selecting a shorts video? Did it auto start a YouTube shorts video, or did it open an ad for a product you've never purchased or never wanted? Which one of those three? I'm guaranteeing you one of the three happened. This change you just experienced started at the beginning of 2026. This is now March. It is now the third month of the year. YouTube changed the algorithm to suggest shorts videos over all other content if the last video you watched was a shorts video. Why does this even matter? You now have a tougher time finding and watching full-length videos by channels you're not subscribed to. Don't worry, we can fix this before we leave. We'll reset the algorithm for you and your device. So don't worry, this is not a permanent issue. To fix it, find a video, any video that is over 3 minutes in length, watch the entire video and turn off the cell phone. Do all 7 steps like I told you before. So if you need to go back in the video, you can go back in this live stream to the 7 steps and redo them all after watching a full-length video. That will reset the algorithm for you and your actual device. You don't need to watch another find a search for a video. You don't have to do anything else. All you got to do is find a video that is over 3 minutes in length. That's important, that it's over 3 minutes in length, not a 2-minute and 45-second video, not a 2-minute video. It has to be over 3 minutes. Click on it and watch the entire thing, and that will reset your algorithm on your device. You say that this didn't affect you, and you didn't get suggested a shorts video, or you didn't see an ad for a product when you turn your device back on, that you've never bought and never wanted. Well, that's odd and understandable, though. Everybody wants to be special. They want to be the one person that YouTube is not screwing. But YouTube's own data shows that the change is worldwide, and less than 3% of the world didn't see the change where if you follow those 7 steps, it didn't turn it right. You go back to shorts videos and to the stream of non-stop shorts videos, or it didn't tell you about a product that you never wanted to purchase and never searched for. Only 3% of the entire world did not see that change. Tomorrow night's trivia is on the Chicago's Dark Secret, the Ripper crew of Chicago. Is tomorrow night's trivia subject matter. So why does all that matter? Again, if you are doing something on your device, say you're grocery shopping or looking for a new blouse or a pair of socks, and you find that pair of socks, or you find something that you really like or you need, and then you turn your phone off and you walk away and you go on with your life. If tomorrow or later on the same day, you picked up your cell phone and it went right back to showing you nothing but that content over and over and over and over again, feeding the dopamine receptors in your mind for an instant hit of a shorts video, or that pair of socks, or that blouse, or that can of creamed corn, whatever it was you were looking for, looked at last on your phone. If it kept on doing that over and over again, you might be a little upset. Well, maybe I want to do something else. And then it doesn't matter if you back out of the app or not. It's going to come right back and do the same thing over and over and over again. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. You can, if you have heard of Linus Tech Tips, he is a Canadian, creator who from Canada, who does reviews on computer products and devices and sites and stuff like that. Take his word for it. He's seeing the same thing in Canada. Don't want to take his word for it. Think that me and Linus are both making this up. How about you go and you see the View, but spelled with two I's. They're from Puerto Rico. They're seeing the same thing there with all of their content as well. No one is able to find their long form videos or their live streams or their podcasts, but all of their shorts videos are bringing in thousands and thousands and thousands of more views than ever before. And they didn't do anything. This is longer, older video, short videos that are old, even new ones. It's doing the same thing. It just keeps on feeding that those dopamine receptors over and over again to the viewer on short videos. So if you make long form content, if you make live streams, if you do podcasts, and you see your views drop by 50, 60% over the next month, compared to where you were before, now you know why. Because someone picked up their phone, they watched a shorts video, and even after they reset it, it's harder for them to find the long form videos, the podcasts, the live streams like they were able to before. It's not suggested at the top anymore. Next thing is going to be suggested, and we all see the writing on the wall, is the shorts shelf is going to move from down here all the way to the top. And then the next up videos will be nothing but shorts videos. Again, we live in an environment and world of short attention span theater, is what I call it. Everybody wants to know everything right now, right now, right now, and it better be 100% of all the factual information that can be found on that subject matter in 60 seconds or less. You saw a product that you never bought, Gemma? Again, if you need to, and if you're seeing these things, and it's going to happen. Well, less than 3% of the entire world did not see one of those three changes. If you are seeing that change where it's auto starting the shelf, go back in my video in this stream to the 7 steps and do the same thing, but just instead of a shorts video shelf, find a video that is 3 minutes or longer and watch the entire thing. You can turn the volume off and set your phone down and do it that way. You don't have to watch a 3-minute video or plus, that you have no interest in at all. But you can just turn the volume off and set your phone down, and that will reset it back to where it was before. So you're not constantly being fed that shorts video shelf or products that you've never bought, never searched for. But that's YouTube. And that's what the algorithm is doing right now to every single creator across the market. Isn't that fun? But I gave the 2 examples of Linus, Tech Tips LTT, and The View with 2 I's from Portugal. I gave you those examples, but that's not the only ones. Just go to the search box, at the top, and search. Is YouTube shorts shelf being suggested over long form? Or put it in a browser and search for it yourself. Even Google comes up with the same answer. And Google and YouTube, people want to believe they're the same company. They are, but they are split in the middle. They have a board of officers here and a board of officers here, but they're feeding themselves. One feeds the other, and to make their search engines, just as powerful, and than anyone else. The Bings, the Safaris, whatever browser you may use out there, a search engine, they're never going to be able to compete with YouTube and and Google, because those two they've got their juggernaut, power at the top, and they squash anyone that is ever going to try to really compete against them. And they're in bed with Android and with Apple, so they want to be right there on every single one of their devices. That's why you buy a new cell phone, YouTube app is already preloaded on it. Why? Because they're in bed with them. They know that symbiotic relationship of being on the device and being there and getting that data is number one. You are the product, and you and your information is worth a hell of a lot more to Google and to YouTube than anything that anybody else will ever want. Sad. Good morning, Kittico. So maybe now would be a good time to address, according to my notes, what are people watching on YouTube the most? What type of content? It falls into categories. There is no like, oh, it's knitting videos or puppy videos or a type of any type of true crime or whatever. You can't narrow it down that way. You have to look at the broader spectrum of subject matter and how YouTube creators are uploading their content and what category they list their content underneath. But number one category is people and blogs. Number one is people and blogs. Number two is lifetime and leisure is number two. Number three is education. Anything that is deemed educational and family friendly. There are a lot of guidelines, for people who upload, underneath that. A lot of people who break the damn rules too. But for uploading underneath, family content. But those are the top, categories on YouTube for content. And have there been any changes? Yes. When it comes to education and educational content used to be number 7 on the list and is now moved up the scale for people that are actually posting content. Now, you might think, well, if you are running a news channel like me, would that be educational? No, that actually falls in the news category. That is a completely different category altogether. The average YouTube creator is getting 0.001 1/10 of a cent to 0.8 of a cent per view. That's the average. And there depends on what category they're in. Lifestyle, entertainment, blogs, whatever they're in. They pay slightly more for some categories over another. So you need 1,000 views to get to $1. That's sad. You need 10,000 views to make $10. Not like the old days. But there are certain categories that YouTube likes to push every now and then where the creator will make, a penny per view. It depends upon the subject matter. If there's like a world event like the war, with Iran, when that first came out, they wanted to bump that news out on to the platform. So anyone that was on the ground in Iran and who could show the actual attacks as they were happening, not someone like me talking about it, but somebody who was on the ground in Iran, if they made a video of the content, of the missiles coming in and blowing things up, those videos got moved up in the algorithm and they were making a penny per view. And they have a metric that's called the milli per view. Yeah, it would take me longer to explain to everyone how that works, but in a nutshell, that's what people are getting per view. Again, some are getting a lot more, and some are getting a lot less. I watch trials and spooky stories mainly. What kind of spooky stories? Like ghost stories? Kitty Gemma is a long form video watcher. For me, I watch an eclectic kind of content. I watch everything from channels like Fathering Autism, in autism awareness. I watch content on that, and then I watch a lot of like auto repair and restoration of autos, to legal channels like Legal Eagle, or Leto's Law. Uh, I watch a lot of content like that, and then I'll go down a rabbit hole of watching like old reruns of television shows that that are more nostalgic, not so much for the entertainment, like educational level, but I'll watch stuff like old episodes of the Maury Povich show, or old episodes of Phil Donahue, or Morton Downey Jr., you know, or stuff like that. I'll get onto it and I'll just start watching like 10, 15 of those videos back to back to back. But I don't find one type of content out there interesting. What's sad though is there's very few true crime channels that I watch religiously or weekly, I should say. Better than religiously. There are, I mean, True Crime Loser. Why, Schmiedo, why? I'm always watching Scott. I love his content and the way way he talks, the way he adds that subtle, humor to everything that he's doing. Yeah, and then there's other channels like that too, like Law and Crime, things like that that I do watch a lot of, but very little compared to other types of content. I subscribe to a lot of them. I just don't get around to it, watching them. Bedtime stories, it's ghostly stuff, and Absolute Detective, which is crazy real stuff. They are both good though. Balin, you can't go wrong with Mr. Balin. I watch Balin's shorts video, more of his shorts videos. Um, but I do like that, the way that he covers those disappearances, or and crime stories of murder. Do watch a lot of interrogation too. I even go back and to old music. I get into recipes and cooking, and then dive into your favorite crafts. Like I say, I am very limited to my true crime. Well, I I can't. Geez, how long have I been a subscriber of Mr. Balin? Pretty much since he came on YouTube. I mean, I want to make sure that everyone understands. the three channels I did, mention, in the true crime field. That's not the only ones that I watch and I subscribe to. And I'm constantly, for when it comes to my subscribers here on 411 now, um, every week, as I'm putting together like this, where I'm saying thank you for those who have just recently subscribed. I go and I click on each and every one of those, of those subscribers on my thing, and it brings up if they have a YouTube channel. I click on it and I watch their content. There's no faster way to get a individual, me, to watch your content than to subscribe. I'm not going to do sub for sub, but if I watch your content and I like it, I will subscribe, and I will give you a shout out if I like your content. Now, if I find your content questionable or borderline, playing loosely with the facts, I'm not going to subscribe, and I'm probably not going to come back to watch your content again. If you're all about the drama, and you want to backstab, and you think that that's the fastest way to get to your monetization, I'm not gonna watch your content again, nor am I gonna tell anybody else about your channel. Even if you're a subscriber, do the right thing. Basically, if you do the right thing and you spend the time to actually document what you're talking about, and you make a good quality video, and you subscribe to me, and I find your channel because you're a subscriber, and it doesn't matter if you were subscribed to my channel 5 years ago, and I find out that you have a channel and I watch it and I like your content, I'll tell people about it. Now, I will say, Kitty Q, I did click on your channel just the other day. No content there, other than videos that that Kitty Q likes. But I did click on it just the other day. And same thing with Cement Shoes and other people who have been longtime subscribers here. Buffy, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, didn't they just cancel the reboot of that, Pippa? I go back as far as I Dream of Jeannie, Gilligan's Island, Bewitched. Television shows that we will never get again. We'll never have shows like those again. Think about Bewitched for a moment. A great example. Darren. Darren is the breadwinner, and his wife stays at home, raises the little girl, and she's stays there and does the domestic stuff. You'll never see a show like that again. Now, what they want to push out is the alternative family, and I'm using that loosely, where the wife works, the husband works, and then somehow the comedy of it all is what strange and weird things the kids will get into, or the neighbors or the in-laws will create for the family. Yeah, we had some of that with Bewitched, with her mother showing up and all that, but we'll never get that kind of stuff again. Gilligan's Island, that was a good one. They could reboot or do something along the lines of Gilligan's Island. I mean, again, we did Lost, plane wreck instead of a shipwreck. So, and that was very popular. Wonder what happened. I don't know. My daughter was mentioning something about that they canceled the reboot for it. And there was another show that they are going to be rebooting. That she used to watch a lot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and another show. I mean, we're talking, back when they were on. I can't remember when they were on because I never watched it, but I just remember her being really into these shows back then, a while ago. I don't know, 10 years ago, something like that. I don't know, whatever it was when it was on. But she would mention something about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She wasn't talking to me; she was talking to my wife about it. Man, and I can't. It's right on the tip of my tongue, my memory. The other show that they are going to reboot. It's not Supernatural. Hmm. It's going to come to me probably about 2 o'clock in the morning. It'll come to me while I'm asleep, and I'll wake up and go, "Oh, that's what it was." Chuck Norris passed away yesterday, right? Yes, yes, he did. His family posted on Instagram that Chuck Norris passed away. Now, day before or something like that, he was at his home in Hawaii when it happened. Um, he had, the day before or something like that, they had said that he was taken to the hospital by ambulance and he wasn't doing well, and they wanted people to wish, for a speedy, recovery. And then the next day, they posted that he had passed. So the invincible Chuck Norris, yeah, has definitely passed away. Yeah, The Bachelorette was just canceled. Yeah, because of the video came out on TMZ of her beating the crap out of her ex-boyfriend. If you haven't seen that, go to tmz.com. Uh, Not exactly a news source, but you can watch the video on there of her throwing a metal chair at him and then a vase while her daughter sat there just crying, is bawling her eyes out on the couch. And she's out of her freaking mind in that video. It was all caught, I believe, on a Nest camera or some kind of security camera. The whole thing was. Malcolm in the Middle is getting a reboot. That's true, Kitty Coo. That wasn't the one I was trying to think of, though. It's something. It was something along the lines of Buffy the Vampire Slayer that's getting rebooted, and they're still going to be making it. It's got a whole new cast, but some of the people who were younger, like teenagers in it, are now playing adult. Obviously, they're adults now, but they're playing like the older people that were in it before. Excuse me, like teachers or spiritual leaders or whatever it may be. I was a big Charmed fan too. Charmed? Is Charmed getting rebooted? Hmm. I hadn't heard about that one, but that's not it either. I'm telling you, it's going to come to me later on. I know it is. Now, if you guys are fans of or you're a subscriber to the Taco Podcast, Gemma, Gemma, there's a new episode in 1 hour and 12 minutes. 1 hour and 12 minutes from now, there is a new episode of the Taco Podcast. And we've already filmed and uploaded the next 4 episodes of the Taco Podcast. So every Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I don't know what time that would be in the UK, Gemma, but an hour and 12 minutes, hour 11 minutes from now, a new episode of the Taco Podcast launches. Sarah Geller will make appearances. Well, that's cool. If my daughter was here, she would tell me exactly right away. Her boyfriend's in town, so she's not around anywhere, and I won't see her probably until Monday. I wish I could remember what it was. But they were going to cancel it because of one of the stars had died. And then this show, they found somebody else to take the place of him. Taco Podcast, yes. 5 months it's been since we uploaded a new episode on the Taco Podcast. It boils down to this: why did it take 5 months for us to put up a new episode? Because life got in the way, and that's as simple and as straightforward as I can put it. My wife is now back in school full time, working on her master's degree in psychology. So that took precedence over everything else. And with that, and raising a child, and then I have to work doing this. Plus, I volunteer, within my community itself outside of this, all of this. Nicholas Brennan, who died yesterday, played Xander in Buffy. Is that the one who died? Will, did the shoe have Josh Whelan in it? I don't know. Don't know. I don't have the answer to that one, Pippa. But we're happy to get back to, doing episodes of the Taco Podcast. If you're not a subscriber over there, I hope that would go check it out. And if you like the content, subscribe. If not, just move on with your life and be happy. That's all we ask for in this world. Just be happy. So many people get wrapped up, in the misery of the news and what's going on out there. We forget that we're the only ones that are in control of our own happiness. You can turn off the news, take your cell phone, turn it off, put it in a desk drawer, or you can do what I do. Whenever I go somewhere, I take my cell phone, I turn it off, and I put it in the glove box. And I just enjoy the people around me, even if I'm alone and I'm just going to the store. I don't have my cell phone with me, and I don't want it with me. Sometimes I'll have it in my pocket and I'll have it turned off, but in the vast majority of the time, I just put it in the glove box or leave it at home and just enjoy the fact that I'm alive. Just do that simple thing today. If you have to do an errand today, if it's going to go pay your power bill, just leave your cell phone at home. I know it's always nice to have that emergency blanket in case something happens, like you get a flat tire or something like that. Trust that things will just work out for you instead. Good morning, Gayla. Will, do we need to do content together? Yes, we do, sweetheart. We definitely need to do content together, Gemma. Would love to do like a Zoom like conversation, or or something along that lines where the two of us just talk. I think that'd be great. I'm trying to put something together like that, down the road with Jennifer and my wife and me, for the Taco Podcast, something that Jennifer could use on her channel as well. But see what else has happened in the news. If you saw my YouTube shorts video the other day about Joseph Duggar, Josh Duggar's younger brother, was arrested. He is going to be extradited back to Florida. I do not know why so many people believe that he was arrested in Florida. I've got the the news release from it from the actually from the it has the warrant attached to it. He was arrested in Arkansas, and then it will be is in jail, and they're going to either release him on his own recognizance and say go to Florida yourself to stand trial for these things, or they're going to extradite him back. And he's got a very friendly judge there who is a member of the Christian fundamentalist movement who is sitting on the bench there. And that's what I made a YouTube Shorts video about. And I am truly sorry to anyone that I offended by using actual real terminology for what he was arrested for and what his brother is in prison for. But I did get a community strike for it. Don't worry, it's not a whole humdrum me. I'm so used to it. Every time I talk about any type of crime that happens against children, you can guarantee, unless I use terminology like, and I say things, in acronyms like, CSA or CSAM. If I said that to you and you had no idea what the hell I was talking about, and you wouldn't, you'd have to put that into Google to see what the hell I was even talking about instead of being able to say, exactly what it is. But YouTube doesn't like that. Oh, God, no, because 5 of those or 6 of those words are on the list of, words you can't use on YouTube. But so, in a nutshell, yeah, I got a community strike for it. I ain't worried about it. It'll be there for the next 90 days and then drop off. But that's the life in the world we live in. It's not censorship. It is, but it isn't. Remember, YouTube is not the town square. You have the freedom of speech to say whatever you want, but this is a private platform. This is YouTube's sandbox. And I have to treat it as such. So if they want you to jump over this hurdle or that hurdle and not say certain things on their platform, you can't say them. What the hell did chat go? There it is. Yep. They did. And Maria, who commented before this morning's stream if I was going to be talking about it, I'm pretty sure Maria left, when I said no, I wasn't. I was going to talk about YouTube and what people are watching. But I understand. But anyways, yeah, they did arrest 2 more of the Duggars afterwards, and they both bailed out like really quickly. It was in process and right back out the door. Pretty much. I mean, there was a little bit of a delay there, but the chances of them spending the night in jail was slim to none. In case you're wondering, since I have the notes right here, these are all the notes that I have that I've done on the Duggar case so far, on Joseph Duggar. All right, let's see here. When it comes to crimes against children, okay, and what we know what Josh Duggar did, but how many people are connected to their community and to their church when it comes to crimes against children, particularly, and actually I should say in every case, it has been little girls, preteen girls, preteen. I hate to get graphic here, but I'm going to give you a number here, And then I'm going to give you names of some of these people. When it comes to crimes against children, preteens, there have been 6, not counting Joseph Duggar and any other arrests that have happened in the last week. Okay, there are 6 other people counting Josh Duggar. First, it starts off with William Gothard Jr., one of the founders of the Christian minister with the basic life principles, the IBLP. He is very influential in this entire community of about 13,000 individuals who belong to it. All right. Starts with him. Then next to him is, we know about his dad, Jim Bob. Jim Bob's best friend, or, well, as Jim Bob would describe it, a close associate, Joseph Hutchins. Joseph Hutchins is the former Arkansas State Patrol officer who investigated the crimes that Josh Duggar did against his sisters and the babysitter, who did the report, put it in his desk, and sat on it until the day after the statute of limitations ran out. That's 2 right there. How about a third one? How about Mr. Williams? Mr. Williams has been connected to Bill Gothard and has been charged not once, but 3 times with possession of child depictions in adult situations. How about we just say that? Try not to get demonetized here. But Mr. Williams, Bill is his first name. William Williams. Everybody calls him Mr. Williams, though. How about Mr. Danfield? Mr. Danfield, who once ran for state legislator in the state of Arkansas, another member of the CLM and IBLP. He had a daughter named Danica, who the FBI said was one of the most prolific pictures of someone who was in adult situations as a child. That's 4 right there, or 5. And then we know about Josh. And now we've got Joseph. How many people are going to belong to this church in the end that we find out have been abusing children or have been trading or doing things like these people have been doing? No one's going to do anything about it because they're protected and they have helped put so many people in power all the way from the state level, from the House of Representatives, senators, the people in the White House right now. They have helped put all these people in power up and then below, and at a lateral line, the judges, attorneys, prosecutors. So they've got all these people up here in power, and they got all these people in power, and they got all these people in power here. And if you look at it in like a sideways T, if you look at it, all the different people are there to protect them, and they've been protecting them. Bill Gothard, from the founding of the Christian fundamentalist movement there. It's insane just how many people have been women, and young children have been abused in this thing. Not even going to get into the amount of people, women, who have vanished from the community, who have never been seen again. They were just there and then gone. Their social security numbers, identity has never been used anywhere else in the world. What happened to them? Where did they go? Where did those teenagers go? Where did those mothers go? Nobody wants to ask those questions. Just keep on watching the 19 kids and counting, or 20 kids and counting, or whatever hell number they're up to now. It's horrible. really hurts is when Josh assaulted his little sisters and their babysitter. Jim Bob and Michelle honestly did nothing. Well, they took him to church, and then some lame camp. So that lame camp that you're talking about, Pippadot, he had to read the Bible and do Bible study for 6 hours a day, every other day. And in the other days when he wasn't doing that, Josh Duggar basically did whatever he wanted. And here, the worst part is all of those people I mentioned, besides Josh Duggar, have access right now today to minor children in one-on-one. And I'm not joking, especially with Gothard and Mr. Williams. They moved their offices out of the church into their homes, and they offer individual one-on-one spiritual counseling with children and young adults. I wish I was joking about that. And it happens right there in front of everyone every day. And no one is even looking into it. I mean, there's 13,000 people that are part of this community. I don't want to say that they're the worst. Trust me. We don't even want to get into the Catholic Church and the abuse and things that took place there, or the Mormon Church. You don't want to get into that stuff, because this is just in front of us now because it's in the news. But the Catholic Church, the Mormon Church, the Baptist Church have all had these same things that have happened, where it kept on happening over and over and over again. And everybody up, everybody down, and everybody laterally protected the individual that was the abuser. It's sad that we have a world that is like that. And it's sad that we have someone in a political appointment who believes that women and little girls and young teenage girls are there for their pleasure. And they are there for them to use and do whatever they want with. And then once they've gotten tired of them, discard them. Don't want to make it political, but it. How can you not? How can you not? Oh yeah, it happened. It happened, Pippa. And you know the worst part is there are people who are on YouTube who have connections, family members. They're connected, by relations to the family, and they talk about the Duggar family on YouTube, and they're never going to give you the actual structure of how the entire family dynamic works. Put it this way, in a nutshell, if you look at it like a pyramid, okay, with the top being the church administrators, elders, the minister, and then the elders, then the fathers, then their brothers, and then their male offspring is the next level down. Then the men who marry into the family, all the way down here at the very bottom of the actual pyramid are women, and only if they have children. If they don't have children, or they are a child themselves, they have next to no support or anyone that is going to protect them within these communities. And it's sad. And everybody else up makes all the rules, and they control what happens to everybody else at the bottom. Again, it's not just the Christian fundamentalist movement. I mean, Israel Keys, the serial killer, his family was part of the Christian fundamentalist movement as well. They left the Christian fundamentalist movement and their connections to the Warren Jeffs of the world. They left those behind, but they didn't change their actual structure. They just moved to another area and started teaching and following another individual. But Israel Keys, you can find the connection there with his family. It's ridiculous how our face it is, and nothing is being done about it. You're right. I know I'm not the only person who feels like right now there's an outbreak of all these crimes committed to babies and kids. An outbreak. They seem to be normalizing it. Pippadot, I hate to break the bad news to you, but crimes like these have been happening since before America was even a country. And then when we came here, the white man that came here to America, we did this to the indigenous population. We There are horrific stories about how we took indigenous children off of the reservation and forced them into Christian schools and boarding houses, and we forced them to leave their ancestry behind. We completely whitewashed everything about their history, locked up all of their history in the Smithsonian, where it's never going to be viewed by anyone at all. And these children were abused in multiple different ways, then dumped into mass graves, and their families never knew what happened to their children. Again, it's been happening since before this country was the United States of America, when we were just colonies and we first came here. And it's been going on and on and on and on. It's sad. And again, like I said, it's happened in multiple different religions. It's not just a Christian fundamentalist movement. You know, I don't think it's a rash of new ones. I think with the internet the way it is now, it's bringing all these things in front of us so we see them and hear them daily. You know, so it makes it more prevalent. I don't know about the statistics, when it comes to are these crimes happening more often. Um, a, a vast majority of crimes against children are never reported. A vast majority of crimes against women, dating and spousal rape, is so severely underreported. It's not even funny. It's like I think it's less than like 3% of all of those cases are ever reported. And the ones we do hear about, they're so sensational, and it usually is like a college, frat party or something like that, or something to do with somebody who's connected to someone famous or popular, and that's the stories we hear about. But is there a solution? How about it? We start at the ground level. We have to start at the ground level. We have to teach our daughters and our nieces, not to put up with this shit. We have to start there. And then we have to stop people at the top from stripping of their voice and their right to, report crimes that happen to them, because that happens. It happens too much. One time, of someone being told not to report something is one time too many. And when we see things in the media that come out like what happened in the case with Adventures with Perverts, and what he did to his niece, and it comes out 18 years later, when she became an adult and was able to report it and talk about it. I'm talking about Jared Lysick, in case you don't know what I'm talking about. He's the creator and the main person on Adventures with Perverts, as I like to call it. But when that comes out, the last thing that we need to do is victim blame. and say she's only doing it because she wants money. And trust me, I got a lot of those when I reported on what, happened in that case. But it's a sad world when you think about it. Again, only you are responsible for your happiness. Sometimes you just got to turn your cell phone off and walk away, turn your computer off like I do, and just clear your mind of it all. And then, if you really want to make a difference, start at the bottom. Again, with your daughters, your nieces, your friends' kids, and make sure that they understand that this is not acceptable ever. One time is one time too many. And make sure that the person who does it is accountable for what they did. Don't just drop the charges or not report it. Well, I'm going to wrap up this morning's page 2 news. I want to thank everyone again who is here today and all of the new subscribers and everybody else. If you would give this a thumbs up on the way out before I leave, that would be great. I would appreciate it. Not enough people. I mean, it's free to do. Just click right down below the screen right here. Right down there is, the little thumbs up or thumbs down. Click on whichever one you want. If you think that I am out of line and you didn't like anything that I had to say and this entire thing bored the hell out of you, click the thumbs down. I'm not kidding. Click it. Click it. But if you did enjoy it, click the thumbs up. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow night for trivia. We are doing trivia on the Ripper crew of Chicago. If you're not familiar with it, Google it. You're going to be surprised on why we're doing trivia on this if you have never heard of the Ripper crew of Chicago. But that's tomorrow night's trivia. Again, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 o'clock Mountain, 6 Central, 7 Eastern, 12 midnight in the UK. In the meantime, you have a great day, and thank you again. Bye.